Rightio, welcome to the first episode of HACtv Tours. So, decided to make a bit of a side channel for all the other stuff that I do outside of the shed. So pretty well, wherever I take the old patrol, go camping, four-wheel drive and all that sort of jazz. So yeah, remember to smash that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of this new content. And yeah, we'll get stuck into this first episode. Alright, so I filmed a lot of this stuff a while back, so forgive me for any of the average footage and sound quality, but decided I'd actually put it all together now. So we are going to hit the South Australia Victoria border track. So it's essentially a full drive track that just runs north-south, depending which way you're going, between the border of Victoria and South Australia. So we are starting at the northern point of the track in this one, and yeah, we're just going to head south until we get to around border town, and then we'll trek off and take the road back home. So yeah, stick around and hope you enjoy it. Cheers. So what I'm doing here is I'm just installing a new sand flag. So on the border track you're required to run a sand flag just to give other drivers a bit of visibility over the top of dunes to let them know that there is another vehicle oncoming. So getting that installed on the bull bar, also putting in some washer fluid in the reservoir for the wiper blades and some new wiper blades, so that all comes in handy for all long trips on the road. So let's get into it. Ready to go. Righto, so first night we all met up at a friend's place just outside Mildura. Then in the morning it was time to head out, hit the road and start heading towards Yamba, which is where we're going to start the track. So let's get into it.
Control, CD42 silver top, absolute weapon.
So once we come off the black stuff, we pulled up, dropped pressures, got all our flags ready, and right about here, where I had a bit of a brain fade. So I may have forgot to screw the pin back in before I pulled the tyre deflator off. So yeah, enjoy. So before we took off on the dirt, we just had a bit of a discussion with everyone, because we had a few people with us that hadn't really been full driving before. We had a bit of a, I guess a pre-start meeting before we hit the tracks. So yeah, just make sure everyone is safe. Righto, so it wasn't the most exciting full driving on the first few hours of this track. It was just pretty plain sand driving, nothing too exciting. You kind of had to make your own fun with a bit of the wet stuff that was left on the track. So yeah, not until I reckon after the first day we got to some real exciting stuff. So yeah, we just found a spot to have lunch, trek on down, and then we pulled up camp. So that's where I found myself in a little bit of a mischief, but yeah, it was all good.
This one absolutely silly.
Rightio, so we've made it out to first campsite. We probably got here around 2 o'clock, a bit of an early one. We just wanted to get a nice good campsite so we're not driving around late at night looking for a good spot. So we got about 11 cars with us, so it's hard to find a decent area so we can all get in. Yeah, we've had a bit of fun. So far the tracks have been pretty easy, nothing too crazy, unless you want them to be. So we found a little bit of mud. We may have got a bit carried away with, but it's all fun. So yeah, we're just gonna kick back and cruise for the rest of the day and hit the tracks tomorrow morning. We're out in the tracks now, so camped out last night. Decent little campsite, able to fit all 11 cars. Had a nice little campfire. Pretty chilled night out. This morning we've headed out. We've had one car get bogged on a sand dune. It's wasn't too bad, we just gave them a bit of a snatch out. They just got low ground clearance, so they just got hung up on their underbelly of the car. What happened, Jackie boy? And we had one car pop a bead, but it wasn't fully popped off, so we're able to just pump back up pretty easily. Other than that, it's been pretty cruisy. We're just heading down.
Wayways completed and we're back on the road.
And we're just heading down just to see how far we get today, and yeah, I'll touch back in when we get somewhere with a bit more excitement. So I will say we're at the point of the track where it runs along with this fence line. One thing we do need to keep an eye on is the barbed wire. So obviously a few animals and everything have tried to jump the fence and have ripped part of the fence across, so there's a bit of barbed wire on the track. So as we see it, I'm trying to throw it back over, but yeah, some bits are just you lose sight of and you could actually run over it. So just something to keep an eye on when you're out here.
I think I was set up to fail.
So this is where I thought the track started to get a bit more fun, so sit back and enjoy. So after all this fun in the dunes, the thirsty girls needed a bit of fuel. So a few of us who have a bit smaller tanks and thirstier cars had to stop in Pinaroo just to get a bit of fuel. So also note to self that if you have any fruit, you do have to drop it before you enter Pinaroo, because there's a no fruit past that point. So yeah, something to keep in mind. So we found the further south we went, the wetter it got. So yeah, the slop just kept piling on, and it just kept filling up the guards, and yeah, it was quite a muddy ordeal in the end. Alright, so south of Pinaroo is where the big desert wilderness area starts. So we got here around mid-afternoon, which is when we probably should have started looking for a camp, but we decided to push on, and looking for a camp spot for 11 vehicles is a bit of a mission, and you'll find out what happens when you leave it to the last minute. So yeah, keep watching. Alright, so I remember when I said we probably should have looked for a campsite earlier. Well, you're about to find out what happened. So, night driving, yeah, it's fun at the start, but it can get a bit average after a while when you're trying to find a campsite. You're getting tired and you're driving through these corrugated roads. So, yeah, enjoy our pain. Rightio, so we've pulled up camp quite night. Rightio, so we've pulled up camp pretty late here. We managed to get to Red Bluff. We're struggling to find a campsite that can actually hold all of us in one area, so we're kind of just making do with whatever room is available. Doesn't look like we are going to have a fire tonight, so there we go. I'll show you how it looks in the morning anyway. So we went for a bit of a hike this morning up to the top of Red Bluff, bit of a lookout, and yeah, now we're just heading off back down the track again, and our aim is to get to Bordertown, so that'll pretty much be the end of this trip. So from memory, because I've done this before, there is another decent little dune we got to get up, so I'll show you guys that when we get to that. But in the meantime, it's pretty much the same sort of sand track driving for a fair bit of the way now. So we've gone from some relatively steep sand dunes to some pretty boggy bog holes. So just been, we've had to snatch a couple of people out. A few little real tricky sections, you just got to pick your line. There's so many different tracks to go through. Some pretty deep holes too, so we're all just tracking through, trying to get the smaller cars through, but yeah, so far it's so good. What do you reckon, Brenny?
Pretty good.
Rightio, we're done. Time to air up. And that just about wraps it up, apart from me needing to wash the patrol for about 4 days. But that's the end of that episode. So thanks for watching. Remember to smash that like and subscribe button. So we'll see you on the next episode. But for now, keep having a crack, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.